The image of the Black Nazarene paraded around Old Manila, escorted by a sea of barefoot believers. The procession is one of the greatest modern spectacles of the Catholic faith. After being downsized for the past 3 years due to concerns over COVID-19, it returns this year with the Filipino brand of Catholicism on full display.
All right, the Feast of the Black Nazarene. Now, who's ever heard of the Feast of the Black Nazarene? All right, so apparently the Feast of the Black Nazarene is something that happens every year in the Philippines. And so the Black Nazarene, of course, is an image of the Black Christ, and it was actually carved in the 16th century in Mexico. And then it was transported to the Philippines in 1606. So in the 1500s, it was carved in Mexico. How in the world did that happen? So we're gonna go over this real quick, and then I'll get you back to the video so you can see it. So now I'm in no way advocating worship of a carved item. I'm really just trying to show historically how these things came about and how it ties into who the real Hebrews are. So when we go to the Spanish and Portuguese Inquisition, and we see the expansion of the Spanish and Portuguese by authority of the Catholic Church, you can see that Spain pretty much ruled the areas in red here. And, this is a map, showing the empires between 1581 and 1640, which is during the period that we're talking about here. Anyway, as you can remember, the documentation that we've shown, most of the slaves that were brought over from Spain and Portugal to go to Mexico and the different areas that they had conquered were the Black Jews. All right, so of course, if they knew they were the Black Jews, so the image of Christ was also Black at that particular time. So Spain continued to conquer. They also left Mexico, and as you can see, they also went over to the Philippines, and they had their dominance in the Philippines area over here. You can see Manila on the map. Now, because of that, they were spreading the Catholicism throughout the world as well. And so when they left Mexico, they took one of the images from Mexico depicting the Black Christ, because the slaves that they were taking over to there were, the real Hebrews. And they knew that there was a real image of the Messiah, and they took this image of the Messiah from Mexico to the Philippines. And so ever since 1600 through 1606, the Philippines have been, really excited and venerated by this particular image. All right, so with that being said, we're going to get back to the video.
The image of the Black Nazarene paraded around Old Manila, escorted by a sea of barefoot believers. The procession is one of the greatest modern spectacles of the Catholic faith. After being downsized for the past 3 years due to concerns over COVID-19, it returns this year with the Filipino brand of Catholicism on full display.
I'm wearing prosthetics, but I am here and I am alive because of the miracle of the Black Nazarene. I believe he has the answers to my problems.
The centuries-old statue of Jesus Christ was in a glass case for the first time. But this did not prevent devotees from scrambling to get on the float. They believe the closer they are to the image, the more they'll be granted its gift of miracle.
The last time the Black Nazarene procession was held back in 2020, more than 2 million people took part. Now, the pandemic may have held back the annual tradition, but clearly devotees have held on to their faith.
At one point, the float looked like it was going to tip over. It stopped moving for a while as devotees took turns climbing and dropping into the thickening crowd.
It feels good to be able to touch him. It feels like our aspirations are within reach.
The massive procession takes place just 1 month after a bomb exploded at a Catholic service in the south, claimed by ISIL. But devotees say they believe the Black Nazarene will protect them today and in the year ahead.
Despite the gloomy weather, there's no stopping millions of devotees from participating in the Black Nazarene procession. Jervis Manahan now joins us live for updates. He's standing by at Arlegui. Jervis, hi.
Yes, good morning, Michelle. The andas or the carriage of the Black Nazarene is moving significantly faster compared to its pace in 2020 or the last time the same procession was held. We are here at the corner of Fraternal and Arlegui Street in Manila, and while the andas has yet to reach this point, the crowd here is much thicker compared to the situation earlier this morning. Most of the devotees are walking barefoot, and the light drizzles didn't stop them from participating in this event. Right now, the weather is getting better and the people are so excited to see the Black Nazarene. From this point, the andas will traverse narrow roads around several communities here in Manila. Thousands of devotees are in the spot where we are, but a million others are participating in today's massive event. They are evidently happy with the return of this tradition, which is a massive show of faith and devotion. Devotees have been prepared since last night, and most of them attended a mass by Cardinal Advincula at the Quirino Grandstand. Some residents have prepared free food, free phone charging, while some set up sound systems along the way. The last time a translation took place in 2020, it took 16 hours. But people here are now expecting this year's procession to be much faster, and it is expected to end earlier. Michelle.
The Black Nazarene is one of the images of Jesus Christ that inspires intense veneration among the dominantly Catholic Filipinos. It is the image of Jesus of Nazareth with dark complexion, carrying the cross on the way to his crucifixion. Every year on January 9, the image is brought out for the commemoration of its transfer or traslación or arrival at Quiapo Church. Held in Quiapo, a densely populated district of Manila, the capital of the Philippines, the annual Traslación procession has caught the attention of and fascinated the whole nation as well as the world for its fervent devotion and millions of participants.
Now, I believe that the feast day cards are a powerful tool for three major reasons. Number one, the Messiah fulfilled and will continue to fulfill his redemptive work surrounding these particular days. The feast days are actually the only biblical holidays or holy days that he affirms in Scripture, not Easter, Christmas, Valentine's. Those days are actually dedicated to other gods. And number two, prophecy. These cards present teaching moments. And one of the main emphasis on the card is prophecy. So the third reason that these cards are so powerful is that when possible, we have actual historical representations of true Israel. We also include on the cards where the images are now located. So this is an opportunity to discuss the meaning of the feast days from a messianic perspective. Also, it's a teaching moment on specific prophecies, and it also opens up discussions about the images of true Israel.